Here's 5 ways how to hide your loot in Rust. Inside of the standard loot room, if you pick up the box and look directly where you've placed your stash, you can see that the stash actually comes through the foundation. And under this stash you can hide anything you want. If done correctly, most raiders will just loot your large boxes and then they'll leave without thinking too much else. The setup's really simple. All you need to do is find yourself a hill and place down your stash. As you can see here, I place down the stash first, then I look to place down my foundation so that it cuts through the stash at about 50% of the height. If your foundation's too high, then it'll cover up the stash completely and you won't be able to access it. The second technique's quite similar, except you don't need to build on a hill. Under any one of your stone foundations, you can place as many stashes as you want. The only downside to this is that you have to backwards pick your stone foundation every time you log off and want to hide your stashes. I would only recommend you doing this when you log off for the night and if you have access to jackhammers. As a solo, you can jackhammer a foundation in a couple of minutes, and if you have a friend helping you, it'll take no time at all. Another thing about this one is it's all about hiding your foundations, so make sure not to have any random stone ones where everything else is metal, otherwise it'll look really suspicious. I recommend doing this on furnace bases because people are less suspecting and they're less likely to get splashed by rockets whilst they're getting raided. I see a lot of people building external TCs, but very few people actually use them as bunkers. You can hide your loot in these external TCs as they're super cheap to make, and if you place your TC on an angle like I've done here, you can easily fit a furnace and a campfire. This gives you 11 slots to work with, and you can even chuck extra boxes within the square foundation. Although, if you're a bit paranoid and people do raid your TCs, which is quite rare in my opinion, you can just have 2 campfires instead of a furnace, and then it's less suspicious. Whilst this may just look like a regular noob loot room with a single door, if you open up the door and remove the boxes, you can see that you can actually hide some boxes at the back. Make sure to keep your boxes on full health when you replace them, otherwise it looks quite suspicious as they're low health. This one's quite a risky one. I wouldn't recommend this as a major one, although it's something to keep in mind and you can try it out if you want. The final one's really easy to add to any of your base designs. You can place a triangle anywhere in your honeycomb or else in your base design, and then you just have to place 3 furnaces and block them off with a glass window. If this leads outside and into the honeycomb, you can upgrade that to sheet metal obviously, and then you can hide a lot of good loot inside of the furnaces, and most people won't blow 2C4 just to get into your furnace loot. Obviously these are all methods that I've just shown you individually. Incorporating them into your own base design is completely up to you and your creativity. I highly recommend you try some of these out and let me know how they go. Personally, I think spreading out loot and hiding it is a lot better than trying to fortify your base, because the more you fortify your base, the more juicy it is for raiders. I've personally been using external TC bunkers for over 2 years now and never have they gotten raided. Raiders can't be bothered going through each and every single one of them as they cost 8 rockets just to get into each TC. I usually use around 4 to 6 TCs, making it completely not worth it for the raider. That paired with the fact that you can use stashes if you're really paranoid, it's a little bit of a pain to backwards pick through stone foundations, however it's extremely strong at negating offline raids. Thank you so much for watching and subscribe to see more.